We're going to begin with an ABC News exclusive interview with High Wire artist Nik Wallenda, who's opening up about that terrifying 2017 accident that left his sister and several other members of his troop severely injured. But they are back, and he's here to unveil his next daring feat. And we're going to talk to him in just a moment. But first, Paula Ferris has a look at the story. Good morning to you, Paula.
Good morning, Michael. Yes, the Wallendas are back. Indeed, this new feat is going to be bigger, better, and more daring than all of the others. Wallenda says this new feat has been on his bucket list. His death-defying stunts and high-wire theatrics have earned him the nickname the King of the Wire. Nik Wallenda, a seventh-generation wire walker from the famed Flying Wallendas, does the unthinkable.
700,000 gallons per second cascading.
Crossing the churning abyss of the Niagara Falls. Trekking the span of the Grand Canyon on a 2-inch wide cable without a safety harness.
Kind of hard to relax when you're 1,500 feet above a canyon.
And sometimes doing it all blindfolded.
You guys watching think I'm crazy. This is what I was made for.
But it was this run gone wrong that left many wondering if Wallenda's luck had run out.
We have a total of 5 rescues.
5 higher wire performers lost their balance during a practice in 2017 while trying to break a Guinness World Record, plummeting more than 30 feet to the ground. The 3 others, including Wallenda, clung to the wire. The group had been rehearsing a complex 8-person pyramid when they slipped.
We're extremely lucky given the height of the fall that they survived.
Everyone survived, but Wallenda's sister, Liana, suffered serious injuries, breaking all the bones in her face.
I know that I struggled with having to relive that accident and actually struggled with fear for the first time ever.
But now, 2 years later, he is back and ready to take on a new challenge. And this is his sister's first time walking a wire since the accident. Of course, she suffered the brunt of those injuries. And as for that video of the harrowing accident in 2017, none of the performers have watched it, Michael. That's a decision that they made together.
All right, Paula, we definitely understand that. And we're joined now live now exclusively by Nik Wallenda. Nik, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here with us. And you have a huge announcement to make this morning.
I do.
It involves our home base here in Times Square.
That's correct, yeah. So my family's first performance back in 1928 here in the United States was here in New York City. And I've always wanted to do something exciting and kind of maybe show the world that the Wallendas are still going strong. And where we started here in New York City. So we've decided that we are going to walk about 25 stories above the streets of Times Square. Something that I've wanted to do for a long time. A long process, something I've worked on since actually the moment I got off that cable over the Grand Canyon. And as you can imagine, there's a bunch of permissions that are needed in order to make this happen. So, and even more exciting is the fact that my sister, who shouldn't be alive right now, miraculously has recovered to the point where she's going to make that trek with me.
And when you said we, you meant your sister as well as others. But is this her first performance since the accident?
It is. This is the first time she'll be performing. It took her about a year before she could actually step foot back on the wire. You know, there's that analogy of getting back on the horse after you fall off. And she was dying to get back on that wire, doing everything she could to get back on that wire, and in the hospital and all of her physical training to get back there. And it took about a year, and she's been training for this walk since then.
And in our viewers at home, they can see, and they're watching the accident now, but you've never actually seen it.
I haven't. You know, we made that decision as a group together. It is, you know, it's something that, of course, will live with me forever, and unfortunately it's something that I can replay in my mind over and over again. I don't need to see the video because I was there, and of course we know of PTSD as something that is real, and it's more real to me than I ever realized it was. And I have to relive that occasionally, and I've worked very hard to overcome that. And in fact, that's a lot of what my family do, is we hope that what we do inspires others, that you can overcome any challenge you might be facing. Whether it be a battle of cancer, you're on that wire too, right? And you've got to make it to that other side. So we try to use that analogy to inspire people, and what greater inspiration than an amazing single mom that has went through an experience, again, that she shouldn't have lived through.
Yeah.
And not only has she lived through it, but she's about to make this amazing historic walk here in New York City.
I mean, 7 generations of your family. You're going to perform with your sister in Times Square. How emotional is it going to be to start here? The first performance by your family is here in New York. You're going to do it now with your sister. Is that going to be emotional for both of you?
It's going to be extremely emotional. In fact, my biggest concern is that I'll be concerned for her. You know, whenever I've walked a wire with family members, I'm always concerned more about them or friends than myself. So I know a lot of my focus that evening, it'll be live here June 23rd on ABC. I'll be focusing on her and be concerned about her more than I will be about myself.
You talked about family and friends. You had some other friends who were injured as well. So how are they doing? Are they recovered?
They're all doing well. In fact, every one of them have returned to performing in one capacity or another, which is, again, it's miraculous. The last time my family had an accident in 1962, they were doing the 7-person pyramid, and that fell, and 2 of my uncles were killed, and 1 was paralyzed from the waist down. So we are very blessed to all be alive.
And there are so many people who've seen the video, people who are listening to you right now, who are thinking, why do you want to continue to do this? What is the motivation?
You know, I touched on that a little bit. I hope to inspire people that are facing fears like we face on The Wire, that fears are, you know, I say it often, fear is a liar. You don't, fear, people think that fear protects you from getting hurt, and the fact is fear keeps you back from your greatest goals and your greatest achievements often in life. So we do what we do to inspire people that nothing is impossible, that you can overcome that challenge, the greatest challenge that you might be facing in life.
I tell you what, it's inspiring, and we appreciate you being here this morning to share this with us, and we'll be watching you guys up there.
Awesome, thanks so much for having me.
25 stories above Times Square.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.